lovelies, it's Miss Lady Lace here on my Pinup Glamour channel, and today I have for you a very exciting video as well as some more exciting videos coming very soon. Now, I haven't been super active here on YouTube as I did actually have a baby this year, which has meant I haven't been able to create as much as I've been looking after my beautiful little boy. So I thought what I would do is release some of my burlesque classes, which were originally on Patreon, here for everyone for free on YouTube. I will link some resources below if you want some earlier classes that I have already shared here. Before you start today's class, remember that everyone starts somewhere, so if you are newer to dance, things will feel a little bit awkward at the start, but with practice you will truly flourish. And even if you're someone who has a bit of burlesque experience, it can be always fun to rehash and relearn new things. But I truly hope you enjoy today's burlesque class. Today we are going back to the basics and we're working on some of our basic burlesque movements this week, and in our next class we'll be working on a femme fatale burlesque routine. Whether you're new to these classes and burlesque or if you're someone who's been doing this for a while, it is always a great idea to rehash those basic moves so we continue to build strong technique and ensure that we've got beautiful movement in our burlesque dancing. With all of that said, let's get into our warm-up. Today we're going to work on a full burlesque warm-up, so we're going to do our usual warm-up plus a bit of floor work exercises, and then we'll get into our routine. Starting with our feet nice and close together, we're going to walk through for 8, then we're going to come up on both and take a balance on the last one. We have walking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, relaxing both feet down and coming up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, holding up 8, trying to take a balance. If you can pop your hands in front, raising them up into the air. We can take our head from side to side to test our balance. When we're ready, we're going to bring our hands back onto our hips, relaxing down to the floor. Going into our burlesque position, we're going to put our right leg in front, circling around for 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 4 body rolls. We're going to pull up our chest, contract, release. We're going to do that 4 times through. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, beautiful. We're going to change sides. Left leg in front now, circling around anti-clockwise for 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, beautiful. Onto those body rolls, practicing on the opposite side. We pull our chest in, we contract, and then we arch and release our bottom and our chest. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, lovely. Going to second position next, we're going to do those body twists, hands in first, twisting from side to side. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Amazing. We're going to warm up our hands next with some figure of 8s, rotating through, really exaggerating those movements and starting to create that beautiful essence of burlesque. So trying to make our hands look glamorous as we're moving them in this manner, which will help us develop those beautiful hand movements when we're dancing. Next, we're going to isolate our shoulders going back for 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, rolling forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll head down to the floor now. In my burlesque classes, I love to do an ab workout. It's having a strong core and being able to control our body with strength is really important. So we're going to roll onto our back, keeping our legs bent in. We're going to bring our back onto the floor. We're going to start with 5 crunches coming up. We're going to do 5 leg lifts coming up, and we're going to finish with 5 full sit-ups before we go into our next sequence. Starting with our crunches for 5, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Prepping for our leg lift, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Prepping for our sit-ups, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relaxing down. We're going to keep those legs bent in. We're going to bring them in a bit closer, hands by our side. We're going to roll through and do a bridge for 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. We're going to extend one leg on the floor and we're going to kick this up for 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Changing sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lovely. If there are any additional warm-ups or stretches you want to do, now is the time to hit pause and I will see you in just a moment. When you're ready, grab a quick drink of water and pop on your shoes, ready for today's class. Today we have a technique class and I'm going to be breaking down some of our classic burlesque movements that we use in a lot of our routines, and these moves will also be used in our next class's routine. I've been getting lots of positive feedback about doing these in 2 videos, so having a technique video and then having a routine video that kind of flows into what we've been working on. If there's any specific technique you'd like to work on, or if you'd like me to try a different format with my classes, do let me know in the comments or via message as well. We'll jump up and get started. We'll be starting with our classic burlesque position, which can also be known as a burlesque position, pin-up position, showgirl position, a beveled leg, or many other variations from this. If you look at burlesque performances, pin-up models, vintage Hollywood actresses from the 40s and 50s, and many other resources, you'll quite often see whenever someone walks in on stage, they go into their classic burlesque leg line and body shape. This is a pose that we've been utilizing in all of our routines, so hopefully we'll be refining that, but I'll break that down today. We'll start with our feet lightly turned out, so just a small turnout, not a really large ballet turnout. We're going to pop our hands onto our hips. We're going to bend one knee forward and hug that into the opposite side. So I've got my left leg as my supporting leg. My right leg is beveled in front. This is the rounded shape that the leg creates, and we call that a bevel. With our front leg, it's really important that we either point the toe or have that on demi. So demi is when we're up on our toes, and pointed is when it's just the toe touching the floor. This creates a lot more weightless and longer length through our body rather than sinking into that front foot and having it just on the floor. So we want to point or have it on demi to create that beautiful look. Moving up to our knees, we want to make sure our knees are hugging together. We don't want this to open up, especially when we start to do movements like our burlesque bounce. We don't want to be playing out to the side. It's bending in together. So by covering our knee onto the other knee, we get that refined look. Depending on your routine, you may have your hips more to the side or more forward. Generally, my hips face forward and my legs angle to the side a little bit. My hands either can sit onto my hips or on my waist, depending on my costume. If I have a really big poofy skirt, I'd pop my hands a little bit higher. If I'm wearing something a little bit more form-fitting, I'd pop them a little bit lower. We want to ensure that our fingers are also nicely spaced so we're not stretching them out too far or scrunching them in. So they're just naturally relaxed through here. With our arms, we don't want our elbows too far forward or too far back, so they're just flowing directly to the side, though we may have variations in routines where we do different movements to this. We want to relax our shoulders down rather than letting them come up, especially as we dance. It can make us look quite nervous. So relaxing them down, shoulders out, relaxing those hands. Finally, we want to imagine that someone is pulling us up as tall as we possibly can, especially for us shorter showgirls like myself. I am 5'2", so I'm rather short. So I want to extend myself up as tall as I possibly can be. Imagine someone pulling your spine apart and lengthening it up, or grabbing you by the victory roll and pulling you up in that direction. And this is our classic burlesque position. We'll practice that from side to side, just seeing how that looks. And we can also experiment with different positions with our legs. So we can have it closed with our foot quite close to the body, or we can extend that out from here. We can also have slight variations where the foot goes in different areas to create different looks. Take your time to maybe move around a little bit and hit your burlesque position. Do a little bit of a spin, hit your burlesque position. Walk, 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 burlesque position. Step in, step in, step in, and step in. The more you practice these basic movements, the better you will become at doing them. Next, we're going to work on our burlesque bounce, which is bouncing down and up, down and up. We also have our hip hop that we've worked in previous videos, so I do have a hip movement video if you want to learn a little bit more about the differences. Today we're going to focus purely on the bounce though. So we're in our burlesque position, we're going to bend through our knees and come up through our body. Like I mentioned before, we don't want to turn out that front leg, so we're getting more of a strange plie look. We really want to have that leg turned across the body, so as we bounce, we can bounce evenly through our knees. We can emphasize this in different ways. For our routine in our next class, we're going to be going down and really popping as we come up. For today, we're just going to practice that simple bounce. So we'll go down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. In this position, I'm trying to keep my shoulders down because it's very easy to let them sink as we go down. And I'm also trying to concentrate on, as I'm going down, even through the knees. As I come up though, I'm going to pop my hip a little bit, so I'm kind of straightening that front leg to really extend that movement and getting more emphasis on my booty. We'll try that again. We have down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. We'll change sides and try that in the opposite direction. If you have any ankle, knee or hip issues and find this a little bit difficult, just make it a little bit of a smaller movement so you don't have to go all the way down and all the way up. Even the way I'm doing it is just a small down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. We'll do that 4 more times. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. Next, we're going to be using our hands and tracing our body. When it comes to body traces, it's really important that we're really soft and light when we want to be, but we can also be quite rough with the body traces and be more seductive in the movement. For today, we'll just focus on the basics though. We'll start with our arm, popping it out to the side. We're going to trace down and up, twist down and up. We'll go against our body now. We're going to trace up our stomach to our breasts and coming down the side of our body. So I'm using my fingertips on the front and then the palm of my hand coming down. I'm finding this gets that really tactile look, and then it emphasizes down. We'll trace up and down, up and down. Another element that I find really makes that tease pop when we're doing traces is we could just stand here and trace our body, and that can be fun. I quite like to do the little bounce movements and movements through the hips as I'm tracing, as it really makes a more dynamic movement. So when I'm tracing up, my body's going down, and then I'm reversing, coming up and tracing down. So we'll trace up and body goes down, tracing down, body goes up. We'll do that 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tracing can be done on any part of our body, so have a little bit of a play around the room. We can trace the air and then come back in. We can trace our booty, then down our leg. We can trace under our chin and then down from our head. Whatever we think will look fabulous on stage. Next up, we're going to take our legs into second position so we can work on our bumps. Second position is a wider stance, so it can just be at our shoulder length, or we can take it a little bit further if we like. Our feet are facing forward and our legs are wide apart. Hands are often on the hip, though we can do that with the hands out as well. Quite often, especially with my beginner classes, I like to keep our hands on our hips. That way we don't have to worry about them so they don't do awkward things when we're dancing. So we're going to pop them here. The way that I was taught to do a bump, and the way that I teach many others to do this too, is to envision that you've got the car door that needs to be closed. Your hands are full of groceries, so you have to bump it closed. If you just push your hips to the side, it's not going to close that car door, so it's really going to be a ferocious bump. You want everything to jiggle behind you. If it's not jiggling, you really need to add more veracity to that movement. You really want that bump rather than a tap. Though in our routine next week, we will actually be doing two variations. We'll be doing a little cute soft bump, and then we're going to be doing our hard bump as well. To break down this movement a little bit more though, what we're going to do is bend into our knees. We're going to hitch our hips up into one direction, and then we bump to the opposite direction. So we're going from that neutral position, bending, hitching up to the left, and then bumping to the right. We're then prepped in our next position, and we can bump back. So we can go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. We can also add variations to this movement, so we can add a double bump. So in this movement, I'm going small, big, small, big. When I do this, I go across to the right, back to the left, then to the right and hold. We go left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. We'll try that all together now. So bending into those knees, hitching up to the left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can alternate that as well. So we could go 1, 2, double 3, 4, 5, 6, double 7, 8. Our bump can be done in many different variations in different directions, but we will do that in a future class. Next up, we'll be doing a lunge ball change, which I'll just demonstrate. So we step one foot, the other goes out, lunge and up. Step out, lunge and up. To begin, we're going to focus on our legs, so don't worry about your arms too much, just pop them on your hips. We're going to step right, left leg comes to the side. We don't want to put any weight on that foot, so we should be able to lift that up. We're going to lunge, so we're going to bend into our right leg, and we're going to slide the left leg across the floor, coming back in and putting our left leg in front. We step left, right comes to the side, lunge and up. We'll just do that 2 at a time, so it's not too difficult, but when practicing, you can literally keep going all across the room. When I take my steps, my right leg steps out, and I turn out that foot a little bit from the hip. I then take my left leg to the side, and that can be turned in a little bit. If you're not very mobile, you don't need to lunge down very far. Just do a little lunge and in. We'll try that again. Trying that again, we step right leg turned out, left leg to the side. Just do a little lunge and up. Stepping our left leg, right leg to the side, lunge and up. If you feel ready, we're going to add some movement with our shoulders, but if this is hard enough with just the legs, just put your hands on your hips and practice it that way. For the rest of us, we're going to make sure those shoulders are nice and relaxed, hands are on our hips, and those elbows are going out to the side. We step our right leg out, left leg to the side. As we lunge, I'm going to rotate from my waist, so I'm rotating around and back in. So I'm going in the opposite direction of the leg. So I have my left leg out, I'm going to pivot to the right and come back into our central position. We can repeat that again. We can step left, right leg comes out, we're going to the right, so our upper body is going to be twisting to the left. So we're going to lunge down and twist, coming back up, and we'll repeat that again. Right, left, twist and up, left, right, twist and up. Beautiful. In dance, whenever we take a step, we typically go toe to heel. So as I'm stepping, I'm not going onto the floor because that's going to be quite audible even on a loud stage. So I'm stepping toe to heel. I'm stepping my toe out so my heel's not touching the floor at all. I'm really pointing that foot in this position, lunging down, coming back up, stepping with that left foot, stepping toe to heel, stepping right foot out, twisting to the left, and coming back in. By pointing our foot, we are creating that beautiful, strong leg line. And if we do weird positions, like if we flex it off to the side, it looks really uncomfortable and can cause damage. Or if we try and grind the heel across the floor, it creates a much different look. Combining all we've learned, we'll now try that 4 times through. We have right, left, twist and lunge, and up, left, right, twist and lunge, up, right, left, twist and lunge, up. One more time, stepping left, right, twist and lunge, and up. Amazing. Lastly, today we are going to be working on our burlesque walk. So what we're going to do is we are going to start by walking in a circle. So just have a little bit of a walk around, maybe even just start by walking normally. Usually we walk with toe to heel, and we just kind of naturally sway our arms with our walk. For our burlesque walk, we are going to start in our burlesque position, hands on our hips, shoulders relaxed down, either staying on our toes as we walk around, or we're going to walk toe, heel, toe, heel. So this would rather be toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. To really get into our burlesque walk, we are also going to move our hips as we walk. So I usually step and push my hips in the direction that I'm walking. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Walking to the back of the room, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As I'm walking, if I'm walking directly at the audience especially, I like to overcross my legs a little bit, so it really creates that dramatic movement. Walking to the back again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Usually we would count up to the 8, but as I've got finite space, I'm just taking 5 steps where I can fit them in, so add in as many as you can in your space. Facing in one direction, we're going to walk in a circle for 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Finishing in our burlesque position so we always look glamorous on stage. We can also face forward as we're walking, so we're keeping our face at the audience while we're walking. This is a really great entrance when we're doing a burlesque routine, as it's keeping our attention forward with that beautiful walk still. Rather than just walking to the side, we can present ourselves forward. We'll break that down and not worry about making it look pretty yet. I've got my right leg in front, both hands onto my hips. I'm going to step my leg across. So I've got my right leg stepping left across the body. My body twists a little bit, but then as I come back to forward, it twists back, twisting to the side and forward. We can reverse that. So we have left, body faces forward, right we twist, left out, right we twist, left out, and we'll bring that right leg back in. We'll now make that a little bit prettier by dancing on our toes or walking through toe to heel. We have 1, 2, 3, together 4, walking back, 5, 6, 7, together 8. To make this walk look especially fabulous, if you stay up on your toes, what you can do is swivel through your feet. So I step and then I swivel a little bit through my feet. Then I step to swivel out, step across, stepping out, reversing. We have left, right, left, right, left, together right. With a lot of these walks, I'm stepping up and pointing my foot as I'm walking. The same works when we're walking to the side. When I step up, I point my toe. If I flex my foot as I walk, it doesn't look as glamorous. So you really want to point the toe as soon as it comes off the floor. We'll now have a bit of a play and we'll combine some of those movements and dance through. You can either do whatever you like or you can follow along with me. Firstly, we're going to start with our burlesque position. We're going to change sides, bounce and bounce, changing sides, bounce and bounce, changing sides, bounce and bounce. One more time. We'll step our foot out to the side and we're going to bump and bump, bump and bump, double bump, bump, double bump, bump. We're going to step in and we're going to trace our body up. We're going to trace our body down. We're going to trace our arms, tracing across, and down across our décolletage, and down our legs, and back up. Beautiful. We'll now lunge board change, so we're going to step across and out, lunge and up, step across and out, lunge and up, again, out and out, lunge and up, step across and down, lunge and up. We'll come to the back and repeat. We're going to step across and out, lunge and up, step across and out, lunge and up. From here we're going to walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeating circle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and pose. Beautiful work. Amazing work in today's class. I'm sure no matter what your skill level, you were able to achieve something truly fabulous. Now, if you do share any of the videos of you practicing this dance onto social media, I would truly love for you to tag me at Miss Lady Lace, and that would totally make my day. I have so many more burlesque classes to share with you over the coming weeks and months, so be sure to subscribe to never miss out on one of these. And I am still posting semi-regularly to the stories/reels function on YouTube with little highlights of what I'm getting up to. I truly hope you enjoyed today's class, and as always, be sure to stay glamorous.